Hey everyone, in today's video, I'll be going over all the things that I wish I knew before I got into World of Warcraft PvP. Getting into WoW PvP in 2020 or going into Shadowlands is probably one of the more difficult things for a new player because the game has been out for so long and there's just so much information out there. But I'm really excited to make this video as I think it can save you guys the countless hours that at least I wasted when I tried to get into PvP when I was a lot younger. And I think it'll be helpful for both new and more experienced players as I provided a ton of resources throughout the video that should make your journey a bit easier. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first and most important tip I have to offer is do your absolute best to find an active group of people to play with. A lot of the time what holds people back is they fall into this trap of sitting in LFG for hours and not really improving upon their skill set, and they're just trying to find people to play with in the first place. This is actually something that I struggled with for a very long time, where I would sit in LFG for hours, get in a group, and then someone would leave after one game blaming me for all of the mistakes. Now listen, I know this is a lot easier said than done, so I've gone ahead and created 2 channels in my Discord where both EU and NA players can post their Battle.net information in hopes to meet players that share similar goals. Just be sure to follow the rules and the template provided when posting your information, and the link to my Discord will be in the description box below. The second most important tip is do not be too picky with your teammates. A lot of the time when I talk to players, they kind of assume that they're better than the people that they're actually playing with. And although it's okay to kind of shoot your shot and try to find players that are a bit more knowledgeable than you or skilled than you, there is tremendous value in just grabbing someone who's willing to be as dedicated as you are. And it doesn't mean if they're inexperienced that they can't learn with you and even pass you at some point. All you're looking for are for players that have potential and are willing to improve every day. And I think it's better to just grab a group of people to play with and learn with them than rather spending most of your time trying to be picky and finding players that you think are as good as you are. Moving on to the third tip, review your own gameplay. Now, once you've started regularly queuing, or maybe you haven't found a group yet, one of the ways that you can improve by yourself or as a team is to simply record and watch your own gameplay back. This is something that I neglected to do for a very long time, but as soon as I started doing it, I saw tremendous improvement. Now, if I'm being honest, this was something that I avoided to do for a very long time because every time I watched my own gameplay back, I got a lot of anxiety seeing all the mistakes that I actually made. But out of all the tips I'm talking about in this video, this by far has to be one of the most helpful ones that you can do right now. Now, you have plenty of options when trying to watch back your gameplay. You have NVIDIA Shadowplay, which if you have an NVIDIA video card or a GeForce video card, it's probably already installed on your computer. You can also use OBS as a software to record your gameplay. And again, this is a free program. Or you can actually stream using OBS and then watch back your Twitch VODs and you share those with your friends. There are plenty of options that are out there and they're all free to use. The links to all of those programs will be provided in the description box below as well. Now, there are some cases where you're a bit more inexperienced and you can't really tell what you were doing wrong in the first place. Now, if this is you, you have 2 options. The first thing you can do, which is a free option, is you can just go to Twitch and find someone that's experienced at your class, and I'll talk about that later on in the video, and you can compare their gameplay to your own and see what the difference is and if you can notice anything in regards to what you're doing wrong and what they're potentially doing right. The second thing you can do is you can actually go to my Patreon page, and if you want to support more videos like this, you can sign up at my Patreon page, support me, and then I do regular VOD reviews with you to try to help you improve if I can. And if that does interest you, there will be a link in the description box below. But again, you can start watching your gameplay today and start seeing massive improvements as we speak. Now, the fourth tip is actually picking the right class, which is very hard for a lot of people, and making sure it aligns with your goals. If your goal is to just have fun in the game, then just pick the class that is the most interesting to you. You really can't go wrong in that case, and you'll probably end up enjoying the game much more if you're picking a class that you actually enjoy playing. But for some players, reaching a certain achievement like 2400 or Gladiator is what's most important to them, and if that is you, it's smart to pick a class that will help you achieve those goals. So don't feel bad about picking a class that's just doing well in general, because maybe to you, what you want to achieve is getting that cool Gladiator title. And if you are someone that's looking for class help, I will have a video linked below where I go over all of the classes in Shadowlands, give you my thoughts, and kind of rank them a bit. So if that's something that interests you, the link to that video will also be down below. Now, once you've settled on your class, it's very important to find a player that's experienced on your class. Now, what do I mean by that? Regardless if you're reviewing your own gameplay, it's smart to head over to Twitch or maybe YouTube and find someone that's a bit more experienced on the class that you're looking to pursue, and see if you can learn something from them. Back in the day, players would figure out what was good on their own, and there was a lot more comp and class flexibility, but over the years, WoW has evolved into this meta game where there's so much information out there, there's so many guides, so many streamers, that you can just simply look and see what's the best performing class or the best performing comps and kind of just copy them. And if you're not one of those players that's doing that, you're kind of at a disadvantage, and that is unfortunate. Now, it is important for me to support the PvP community, so I decided to compile a list of a ton of different streamers playing different classes that should be experienced enough at their class to provide valuable information to you watching this video. Now, I went ahead and picked streamers that are a bit smaller but are experts at their class, because I feel like if you go into a chat where it's just too filled up and too crazy, you might not be able to get your questions out there. But in these streamers' chats, they should be slow enough to where you can ask the questions that you want, and they're trying to grow their stream, so it's a perfect match, I believe. An example would be Chanimal, who's easily one of the best warlocks in the world, and he's currently trying to grow his stream. He's a very friendly streamer. He answers all of the questions there, and I'll try to do this for every class, or at least to the best of my ability. Now, when getting into PvP, the next important tip I want to talk about is making sure that your talents, stats, and gear is correct for your class. I can't tell you how many times I've reviewed someone's VOD or tried to coach somebody and their stats are all off. They're not using the right items. They have heavy crit. It's very important for your class to feel fluid in PvP to have the desired stat thresholds, as certain stat thresholds are required for certain class mechanics. Now, an excellent way to discover these stats is actually heading over to the lootdistrict.com. There are tons of ways to sort through different classes and specs, and you can see what talent combinations people are using, you can see what stats they're using, and you can also sort by top 10 players and see what they're using if you want a more specific example. This can make all the difference in your success in the arena, so I highly suggest you check it out, or at least ask the streamers what they're currently running, why they're running the talents that they're running, to get better information for different types of scenarios in PvP. Tip number 7 is to make sure your UI and PvP add-ons are on point. Oftentimes when I see a new player's UI, it is not something that I would recommend for PvP at all. Keeping your UI visually clean so that you can focus on what's in front of you is very important to improving your awareness. There are also certain add-ons that can help improve your awareness as well, and a lot of the time I hear from players that they're standing in the wrong spot or they don't know what good positioning is. So these add-ons can help improve upon that, and they can also help you understand when enemy abilities are coming back up. And World of Warcraft PvP nowadays is all about training cooldowns at the right time. So I'll have some videos linked below, a couple UI videos that you can check out to your own personal preference, as well as an add-on video that will go over some of the add-ons that I think are very crucial and how to set them up. I think you'd be surprised at how much having the right UI or the right add-ons can really improve your performance. And some players rely on add-ons so much that they can't even play the game without them. So make sure you have the right ones. Now, the final recommendation I have for this video is do not rage or play with toxic players. I know this is a simple tip, but it's one that players often overlook. Another common thing that I hear is that players get in a game and they get yelled at by someone right away and they get blamed for everything, and it's really frustrating. These are not the type of players that you want to be associating with at all. It's not worth it. They're not that good, and there are plenty of people out there that are good at the game or as good as you that don't rage at their teammates. Everyone has the potential to improve and learn, and you need to learn to be patient with your teammates as well as yourself. So before you try blaming your teammates because a match didn't go your way, always look at what you could have done better. That's how you can improve on your own regardless of who you're playing with. Ultimately, you probably won't be playing with these people forever, and what's most important is that you're getting better at the game every single day. And if you align yourself with teammates that share those same values, they'll be focused on their own gameplay, and if everyone's equally focused on their own gameplay, as a team, you'll just get better, and all three of you, or all two of you, or both of you I should say, will be improving at the same time. So always focus on yourself and then worry about them. But of course, it's always okay to come together as a team and see what you guys could have done better in general. Anyways, you guys, those are all the tips that I have for you in this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was informative. I really am excited for this video because I think it could be a resource for many of you at home to use throughout your WoW career. And I hope I can save you some of the hours that I wasted trying to learn this stuff the hard way. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you loved it. And also let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. And I'll see you all on my stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 p.m. PST. Thank you guys so much. Peace.